What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing very well. Look at these awesome shoulders that I got. Listen, I've been trying to do some Dragonflight dungeons for you guys to show off Prot Paladin, talk about the changes that have happened, that have come through in the last week or so. And I can't because it keeps pushing my haste to 123% when I'm in the dungeon. And I don't know why. But it completely ruins, like, the experience because I can't actually test what I want to test. I can't test, like, holy power generation. How sustainable am I? I mean, the dungeons are low level anyway, and we kind of just walk all over them. But having 129% haste makes everything, like, really trivial. So I'm just going to show you some stuff here on the dummy, the target dummy, and I want to talk about a few things. Namely, I want to talk about the talent tree setup because it has changed since I first did my video a couple weeks ago. On top of that, so we're going to compare those different talents and what it's like. And then we're really going to talk about holy power generation for Prot Paladin and how it feels. How does it actually feel to not have Avenger's Shield give you holy power anymore? Because that is the big new change. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. Avenger's Shield no longer gives you holy power, okay? And basically all of the really, really good buffs for Avenger's Shield, you need to now spec into. Also, it really appears on live that we're not getting any resets on Avenger's Shield, which is very sad because you're supposed to get a reset on Avenger's Shield whenever you avoid a melee attack or use Blessed Hammer. You should be getting that. So, and I'm not. I mean, you can just see I'll cast it. I've cast it 4 or 5 times in a row now, and I'm not getting the reset. So it doesn't actually necessarily matter for the questions that we're asking, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware that there's still lots of bugs in the beta, and it can be really frustrating to try and test anything, actually, because there's just so many bugs. But honestly, as you guys can probably see already, the holy power generation is actually fine. That's my first thing that I want to say to everybody. It's actually not a problem. I just use Eye of Tyr there, which is really, really good. Between Blessed Hammer and 2 charges of Judgment, because of the Grand Crusade buff down here, Crusader's Judgment, okay? Judgment now gets 2 charges, and Grand Crusade gives you a charge of Judgment. Because of that, your sustain on Holy Power is insane, and you're not allowed, but you can take Blessed Hammer now and also get the benefits of Holy Shield. That used to compete for each other, right? They used to be competing talents, but now you can get 20% more block chance, and you get to block spells, which is amazing. And on top of that, you get to generate holy power with Blessed Hammer, which is way better than Hammer of the Righteous at generating holy power, particularly outside of combat, which is a massive deal. It means that every Prot warrior can essentially start the fight with 3 holy power if they want to. You just go 1, 2, 3, and you got 3 holy power, and then you run into the fight, and you can cast, Shield of the Righteous right away if you want to. On top of that, of course, there's big buffs to Consecration, and in terms of holy power generation, we do have Bastion of Light. So let's say I've run out of, I'm going to spend all my holy power here. I'm going to spend Judgment. I mean, honestly, I just keep getting holy power. It's kind of ridiculous. There, I spent it all. I'm going to pop Bastion of Light, and then I get 3 Shield of the Righteouses or a Word of Glory for free. Right there. There, I spent them all. All the while, when you're using your 3 free holy power spenders, you're obviously building up holy power as well because you're casting Judgment or you're casting Blessed Hammer, and that is going to be generating. So you're spending 3 for free, and then you're also generating, which is really, really cool. On top of that, you still have your regular free Word of Glory, which I'll proc in a second here. There it is. It's glowing now, which means it's free. You can see the buff up here. It is this one, Shining Light. Your next Word of Glory is free, right? So that's right here. Every 3 casts of Shield of the Righteous makes your next Word of Glory free. That used to be every 5 casts of Shield of the Righteous makes your next Word of Glory free. Now they made it 3. So that's way better. That actually saves you on holy power generation because it means that you can just cast this free Word of Glory much, much quicker than you otherwise used to be able to. So that's another way that you generate extra holy power. On top of that, guys, you can still get Divine Purpose, which you just saw proc a minute ago. You have a 15% chance whenever you use a spender to make your next spender free. I got my Word of Glory proc again, so this is free. I can build up Holy Power right now. I'm going to get hit really hard here in a second. I just used Judgment or Shield of the Righteous to get armor. Now I can heal myself for free. It's actually insane how many ways you have of generating Holy Power. 3 Blessed Hammers, 2 Judgments, a Divine Purpose proc. Okay. When you're in Wings, Judgment generates 1 additional Holy Power. Okay, that's another one. You have Bastion of Light every 2 minutes, and you have the buffed Shining Light that gets you that Word of Glory for free more quickly. I just not having Avenger's Shield give you Holy Power does not matter, guys. It does not matter. You are perfectly fine without having Avenger's Shield give you Holy Power. I just want to make that really, really clear. Because that was the one thing that people were like dooming about. They're like, oh my god, you know, Holy Power is, or Prot Paladin's done for because Avenger's Shield doesn't generate anymore. Yeah, it doesn't need to, man. You've got so much. On top of that, you have a million defensives. In the form of Ardent Defender, Guardian of Ancient Kings, Eye of Tyr down here, right? I have Divine Shield that I can pop with Final Stand. I don't have it talented right now, but I could. So 1, 2, 3 buttons that are like massive DRs. I took Sentinel, which is the new buff that you could take on Avenging Wrath. It gives you 15 stacks of Divine Resolve, which increases your maximum health by 2%. So that's 30% max health, 30% reduced damage taken. Let's pop it right now. I'll pop that. Boom. I have these big stacks going on in the top here. There we go. 13 stacks. I can try and delay the stack count from dropping by spending Holy Power. Okay. Now, the maximum health that it gives you just stays. You saw that I had 44% more max health. The damage reduction portion of it does tailor off over time. But, again, I've got Wings, and it's another defensive now, if you want to use it that way. If you want to use Wings as another massive defensive cooldown, you can, and that's really, really cool. You can also take Divine Toll, which is back, and you can combine it with all of the talents on the left-hand side that really buff Avenger's Shield and make it do more damage and make it give you a bigger shield. Avenger's Shield shields you for 100% of the damage that it deals. If you cast Divine Toll, I get a really big shield, Bulwark of Order, just like you can in Shadowlands, okay? So that's another defensive layer. I mean, Prot Paladin is just literally going to be invincible. On top of that, I have a trinket that I can use. I haven't even pressed Guardian of Ancient Kings yet. And this guy's up to 33 stacks now on his Uber Strike. My Bastion's coming back. My Eye of Tears coming back. My Divine Toll's coming back. My Ardent Defender's coming back. Like, it's just crazy how tanky you are going to be as a Prot Paladin, guys. I'm telling you right now, it is not going to be an issue whatsoever. I'm popping my Bastion of Light right there. Now I'm just kind of biding my time until I get Eye of Tyr back. That'll be for the next Uber Strike. So watch this. We're going to pop Eye of Tyr right now. Here comes the Uber Strike. I barely took any damage. I can heal it all back up with Word of Glory. They basically have streamlined so many of the Prot Paladin problems. One of the main problems for Prot Paladin was, of course, that pressing Shield of the Righteous felt bad because it was better to just heal yourself with Word of Glory. And in a lot of ways, they fixed that with just buffing Shining Light to make it every 3 Shield of the Righteous instead of every 5. So that's a massive one. On top of that, just the way the talent tree is set up allows you to grab so many buffs that you couldn't before. We're going to pop Sentinel here. So, like, for example, like the block chance I mentioned, I have Blessed Hammer here, which is in the top, but then I also have Holy Shield, which gives me 20% chance to block. So I get both of those, right? That's a massive, massive deal that you get to have that. On top of that, you get to also have Crusader's Judgment, which is buffed by Grand Crusade, and it's going to give you a high, high chance of getting Judgment back, which, again, as I said before, helps you with the Holy Power generation. Let's do a big thing here. Again, I'm literally kind of AFKing while I'm killing this boss here, while he's killing me. It has not been an issue whatsoever. And as I said a minute ago, the defensives are just out of this world. There's an Eye of Tyr back again. I'll use it right here to block a good portion of the damage that I would have been dealt there. On the next Uber Strike, we'll pop Guardian of Ancient Kings. Actually, no, we're just going to trinket the next one. Let's do that. With some armor up. There we go. We didn't actually take any damage. Then we keep going. On top of that, there's some other kind of really cool quality of life buffs for the survival portion of Prot Paladin, which is to say your Word of Glory now heals you for 2,800 over 15 seconds, which is really, really strong. It's just consistent healing. Your Consecration heals you as well. So that's happening over here with Golden Path. It's not very much, but it will grow as I get higher item level. It also heals other people, which is really, really cool. That's an awesome thing. Okay, we're going to need some healing here. I'm going to pop Bastion of Light. I'm going to wait for the next thing to come through. I'm going to pop my next Word of Glory again. There we go. Bastion of Light can be used offensively, defensively, however you want to do it. Divine Toll's back, so we're going to get a big shield here to block the next Uber Strike. There we go. We blocked most of it. Eye of Tyr is back, so we're going to use that on our next Uber Strike. Okay. I'm going to set it up right now. There we go. Here comes Uber Strike. Consecration still reduces the damage that you take while you're standing in it. So right now it's what is it? 18.7% reduction. I'm going to pop Ardent Defender for this next Uber Strike. Then I'm going to use Sentinel on the next Uber Strike. Okay. Guardian of Ancient Kings, I haven't even used yet. I should be using it at some point, but okay, here comes Sentinel. Let's pop it now. We are starting to take significant damage now, which is good. This is what we really wanted to test, guys. Really wanted to see how this is going to go. So again, we don't have any cooldowns right now. We're waiting for Divine Toll. That's the next one coming back. I can see it there. So we're just going to sustain with Word of Glories. Keep that going. Okay. If we need Guardian of Ancient Kings, we're going to use it, but we don't need it right now. I just got into Execute, so we still get Hammer of Wrath. Here's there's Divine Toll blocking. I'll use my Trinket on the next one, and then I'll use Eye of Tyr on the next one after that. Don't ever not have Consecration down. Always have Consecration down, or you will die. Here's my Trinket for the next Uber Strike. I absorb the whole thing. Okay. Eye of Tyr is up to bat. Then Bastion of Light. See what I'm doing here? I'm just cycling through these incredible cooldowns. There's Eye of Tyr. And I'm just using Word of Glory to heal myself. I'm getting healed over time from Consecration and from Word of Glory. And I'm keeping my armor up with Shield of the Righteous because it's just so easy to do that now. It's not a problem at all. There's no holy power generation problems. This, Prot Paladin is looking absolutely busted. We're going to use Bastion here. Big heals on myself. There's one. There's two. Let's just do 3 in a row. That was my entire Bastion of Light to just heal myself back up. Now, Ardent Defender is back. We're going to use that next. Let's do it now. Then we're going to use Divine Toll just to stop the auto attacks from coming through. Things are getting a little bit dicier now. We have to be a little more careful with our cooldowns. Okay, we absorbed that somehow. I don't even know why we absorbed that, but let's heal it up. More damage here. Eye of Tyr is coming back. Let's use it now. There's the next Uber Strike. Okay, we took less damage than we would have otherwise. You can see, guys, basically Prot Paladin is about rotating cooldowns now. It still has kind of the spammy nature, I would argue. I have Sentinels rolling right now. It has that spammy nature still where you can just keep spamming Shield of the Righteous over and over again, especially if you get a Divine Purpose proc or if you're in your Bastion of Light cooldown, which is very cool. And it just all synergizes really well now. It synergizes really well together, and I feel incredibly strong as the Prot Paladin here. Just so strong. I have no cooldown for this one. We have Divine Toll up now. I am cheating a bit with Divine Toll, but if I was in Mythic Plus, this would be exactly how it would work. Still haven't used Guardian of Ancient Kings, by the way. So anyway, I think honestly I could keep this going for a really long time, but I don't want to bore you guys to death. We are going to get to the talent trees here, but we got him up to 63. 630% more Uber Strike damage. So you can see how much sustain, how much protection the Protection Paladin has, how tanky you are, how tough you are. I have 58% block basically the entire time I'm actually engaged in combat. I had almost 60% block between all the different talents that I've got here. So it's really crazy, guys. It's really crazy. It's really good. And I just wanted to try and address some of those issues that people were bringing up with Prot Paladin, specifically around, is there going to be any holy power generation? Are you going to be able to sustain? What is it looking like in a real environment, in a real Mythic Plus environment? Or not Mythic Plus, but just, I'm on a training dummy there. But I did do some Mythic Plus. It obviously felt fine, but the dungeons that we can do right now are very low. They're not really serious in any way. So once I get this guy leveled up a little bit more, I can try some real content. But Let's talk a little bit for a second about how they changed the tree, because it has changed around quite a bit. So Grand Crusade is here and Inspiring Vanguard is here, but this talent, Crusader's Judgment, used to be kind of like right here, and they kind of swapped that around. So Faith Barricade is up here now, which again gives you even more block. When you use Avenger's Shield, block chance goes up by 10% for 10 seconds. That's permanent because Avenger's Shield has less, the cooldown on it is lower than 10 seconds, so you can have that up all the time. They did put Crusader's Judgment down here, but that's okay. Again, I do think this is fairly mandatory now, and I think that Hammer of the Righteous might be a little bit alienated now because it doesn't give you as much holy power generation as Blessed Hammer would. Blessed Hammer is just so good. It's not only is it good in combat, but it's like good when you're walking from pack to pack, or in a raid encounter when you're the off tank, or you have to go and do a mechanic. You have to run away from the boss and do a mechanic. You can just press Blessed Hammer while you're out there and get holy power. So it's more versatile. It's better for sure. You're getting Redoubt as well, which was a talent that shared a talent row with other talents, right? In the top, I think it was in the top row there. Shield of the Righteous increases your strength and stamina by 6%. 2, 4, 6. That stacks up to 3 times. So 6% stamina and strength is a lot. 6% strength in particular is a ton of strength. So that's really, really good. That scales into the deep part of the expansion. What else? Light of the Titans is really good. This consistent healing, guys, coming through. I'm kind of running a consecration build right now. That's what I was doing there. So I had like Incandescence. I had Golden Path. I had Hallowed Ground. And then over here, I had Consecration lasting longer and 20% more damage from it. More damage reduction. You see, I had 18% damage reduction while I was standing in Consecration. So that was crazy. And then this is another huge buff. When you're in your Consecration, your Shield of the Righteous and Word of Glory are 20% more effective, essentially. So that is really amazing. A really, really big buff as well. I could have taken Hand of the Protector. I'm only level 60, so I'll pick up more talents later. But I did not go down the Avenger's Shield route, which would be much, much better in Mythic Plus. You can get the Avenger's Shield doing more damage, bouncing to more targets or doing more damage to one target, which is very cool. All that stuff is still here on the left-hand side. That has not changed at all. Ultimately, guys, this tree is looking really, really good. I think that you're basically going to have access to whatever you want, realistically speaking. The amount of flexibility in terms of the pathing is very strong here, and I'm happy about it. And I think Sentinel is quite good as an additional defensive cooldown, particularly in a raid environment like you just saw me doing. Basically, I was simulating like a raid boss. That's probably where you're going to want it. The other option just being 20% more crit, which is the baseline version of Avenging Wrath. That is still a bit of a sore spot for Paladins in general, is that you have to take 1, 2, 3 talents to get the baseline version, basically, of Avenging Wrath as you have it now. But I don't really care about that. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal to me. There's lots of other classes that have other talent choices that they have to make that are kind of annoying. So I'm not it doesn't really bother me at all. But that's about it for the Prot Paladin. I just wanted to show you guys a really cool, like a really in-depth version of what a fight might look like and what it currently looks like on live. It has changed. So some of the talent positions here have changed, of course, but the sustain, the ability to just survive in this encounter is honestly incredible, guys. I can't talk about it enough. We got him up to 66 stacks. Basically, with Prot Paladin now, you have multiple cooldowns that you're rotating through. Things like Sentinel, things like Bastion of Light, Divine Toll, giving you shields from Avenger's Shield. I didn't even spec that far into that. I could have got way more of a shield from that Divine Toll. Eye of Tyr, a trinket that you might have. Guardian of Ancient Kings, Ardent Defender, Divine Shield with Final Stand down here. There's literally like 6 or 7 buttons that you can have that you can just rotate through, and they're all like 1 to 2 to 3 minute cooldowns max. It's kind of insane how many buttons Paladin can have now to survive. On top of that, with your sustain, you've got healing from Consecration. You can see me healing over here on the left side, and I can always heal from Word of Glory, which will also not only do a big upfront heal, but heal me over time as well. You can see now I'm getting like double dipping on the heal over time here. So I just think Prot Paladin is in a really good place. If you need emergency healing, you can pop Bastion of Light. There are so many good options for Prot Paladin, guys. And I think as we suspected when this talent tree came out, we thought it was going to be pretty crazy. I think it is crazy. I think it's an incredibly strong tank. It will be very, very tough to kill. and it will do lots of damage as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm going to keep jumping into all these different classes on live and check them out. I'm only really going to try and check them out if there's been a significant number of changes to the tree, like I did with the shadow tree in my last video, where like there was a substantial number of changes that had happened over the course of a couple of weeks. So if there's only a couple minor changes that happen week to week, guys, I'm not going to do a video about it because it's just not enough, in my opinion, to talk about. So stay tuned, though, for more guides like this on all your different classes that we're going to talk about. I'm hoping to get into Feral Druid. Maybe this week. It's Tuesday right now, so I'm hoping that everything kind of resets on the beta, and I can get in and try some Feral bleeds and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.